Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to be putting together clue number 2, that rhymes. I always love when we get to clue number 2. Clue number 2 of Are You Game for the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. If you don't know what's going on or haven't ever done the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, make sure to go check out my video where I talk about what the Puzzle Mystery Quilt is, how it works, and all the details about it. You might still have time to jump in, but it's closing fast, so if you're interested, go check out the Cotton Cuts website to see if there's still availability. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what comes in package number 2. Okay, I have my directions for clue number 2, and it shows us what we're going to be making today and all the pieces in our pack. Let's go ahead and open up our pack and see what's included. And I did remember to grab my fabric guide so that way we knew which fabric goes for which of these pieces. Alright, the first one that I find here is a fabric D, and we have one piece of fabric D. I have, let's see, C, which is 4 squares of fabric C. I have 6 of rectangles for fabric B. I have 4 squares of fabric B. I have 8 rectangles of fabric A. I have 2 triangles of fabric E, 2 triangles of fabric F, and then 2 larger squares of fabric C. So that's all that you're gonna get in this kit. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna move all of these back off to the table behind me so it's easier to lay everything out. We'll get started with clue. All right, as always, our seam allowances are at 1/4 inch. And for step number 1, for section 2A, what we're gonna do is we're gonna join a small triangle of F and E, and then we're gonna press it towards E. So we're just making a simple half square triangle, but we're gonna do that 2 times, and that's gonna be easy enough. Okay, it's time to press. Once again, I'm using my wool pressing mat and my Cricut Easy Press Mini. And remember, for half square triangles, you go up first to get them pressed out so that way they are not misshapen. Usually, it doesn't always work, and I'm not the best, but for the most part, it works out pretty well. These should measure at 3.5 inches square, and now we'll go ahead and move on to step 2, so that way we can add on our next piece. For step number 2, we're going to take our C square and we're going to attach it to the left side of the FE square. So we'll just fold this over just like this. Just remember that this is going to be the edge we're going to sew on, and we'll attach it just like that. Okay, we've attached our C to our FE, and we're going to press towards our C block, or our C square, whichever one you want to call it, and we have something that looks like this. Okay, we finished with step number 2. We're gonna move to step number 3. We're gonna join rectangles of A and B. We're gonna press it towards B, and the measurements for this one will be 3.5 inches squared again, and we're gonna make 2 of these. So that's easy enough. Let's get started. Okay, we've gone ahead and sewn those together. I'm gonna go ahead and press towards C, which in my case is the red one. I'm gonna press towards C, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it next to my step number 2. So for step number 4, what we're gonna do is we're gonna join step 2 to step 3. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm gonna press towards our A side. That's the easiest way to explain it, but basically we're going to press towards A, so in this direction. So now here we have this is gonna be our piece. It measures 3.5 inches by 9 inches, and we've made 2 of them. And we're gonna label these 2A. And this part went by super quickly, and that's why I love these puzzle mystery quilts, is they just go together so quickly. All right, now we're moving on to section 2B. For step number 1, we're gonna join a rectangle of A to a rectangle of B. We're gonna do this 4 times, so we'll have a total of 4 of these units when we're done. All right, we've made 4 of these units. We're gonna press them towards our B fabric. In my case, again, it's the red fabric. Okay, now that I have them all pressed out, we're gonna move on to step 2. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna join step 1 units together. So basically, what it's gonna look like is we're putting 2 of our units together so that it'll be our AB fabric, just like this. And we're doing this twice. Since we have 4, they'll become 2. All right, we have our units put together. We're gonna press towards B, and I think they mean to press it towards the B in the middle and not the B on this side. I'm not 100% sure. I always get a little fuzzy on the pressing details, but always remember, pressing is nice, but don't freak out if you get it incorrect one time or another. It happens to mine all the time, and the quilts always come out amazingly. It's just to try and preserve as much bulk as possible, but really whenever you quilt them, it doesn't matter a whole big amount. But anyways, all right, so we've done that. Now we need to move on to step 3. For step 3, we're gonna go ahead and add our A fabric. It says join an A rectangle to the end of step 2 and press towards B. So we're gonna add on our A rectangle here on the end, and then we're gonna press it towards B. All right, I have sewn on my rectangle of A, and I'm pressing towards B, which when I do that, looks like we have done everything correctly because our A fabric is pointing in towards our B fabric whenever we're pressing it out. So that's what it looks like whenever we're done, and that's it for this one. So this should measure at 3.5 inches by 8 inches. We made 2 of them, and we're gonna label this 2B. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move to section 2C for instruction number 1. We're going to join a C square, a B square, and a C square into a row. We're gonna press that towards B. Let's go ahead and make that happen. Oh, and we're doing that twice. I forgot to say that. We're doing that twice. Okay, I've sewn these together, so we have our C, B, C, and now I'm gonna press this, and we're pressing towards our B fabric, so it'll be right in the middle there. I'm gonna flip this around so that way I can press the other one into the center as well. I love that it's small enough that my iron just goes right over everything all at once. All right, so we have 2 of these. We're gonna hang on to these because now we're gonna move on to step 2, which says to join B, D, B squares together in a row. So this is what it'll look like, B, D, B. We're gonna do this 1 time and we'll move on to our next step. Okay, I've sewn my B, D, B squares together, and now we're gonna press towards our B squares. So I'm gonna go ahead and press outwards for these. All right, now that I have that done, I'm gonna move my step 2 into the middle of both of my step 1s, and we're gonna sew all 3 of these together. All right, I have sewed it into a square. We're gonna press towards the center, so I'm gonna lay it out like this and just hopefully gently press it over into the center. Okay guys, there is our, what section is this? This is section 2C. We have our square put together. This should measure 6.5 inches square. We're gonna make 1 of these, so obviously we just made 1, and we're gonna label this section 2C. All right, here is everything that you'll be making in clue number 2 for the small puzzle mystery quilt Are You game. We have section 2A here, we have section 2B here, and we have section 2C here. These are the pieces that you'll make, and go ahead and label that so that way you know which piece is which, and store them away and get ready for clue number 3. All right, we've got clue number 2 ready to go. It seems like it's gonna take forever for our next one to come in for clue number 3, but I'm so excited to see how this quilt comes together. I'm loving the colors, and I can't wait to see what all the different colorways look like in months from now. But we'll get there soon enough. I'm sure it'll be here quicker than we think. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it across YouTube land. Also guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and get great updates every time I post a new video, or go live by clicking the bell notification icon and clicking all notifications. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!